Hello, welcome to part 2 of my working at Target video. I wanted to make another video mainly just answering like the comments on my last video. So my last video was talking about like kind of the hiring process, so how to get hired, like applying, what orientation is like, training is like, and then kind of like your first week. But this video is just gonna be me answering most of the common questions on my last video. I got a lot of questions that were all like the same, and I was replying to them, but I just figured might as well make a video since they're questions a lot of people also want to know. Sorry I'm making a update video 6 months after that, but I mean I was still replying to comments and I still am, so let's get started. This is also going to be kind of fast paced. I don't want to spend a lot of time on a certain question, but I'm not going to rush through it. Okay, so one of the main questions I got was, what do you wear for orientation? I think I talked about it in my last video, but I'm still going to talk about it again. I wore a red shirt. I believe it was my red long sleeve shirt that I got from Target. And then I wore blue jeans with no holes, but they also told me to wear this, so your store might be different. If they don't mention it to you, I would say wear a red shirt and jeans, or if you don't have a red shirt, you can wear a black shirt. I'm sure it's fine. You're not going to be working during your orientation, so you don't really need to be wearing red, but it might look better if you do. This is probably the most common question I got was, do they drug test you? I did not get drug tested. I'm not really sure if that's more a kind of a store thing, like it depends on which store, what location you're at, but my store did not drug test me. Another common was how long do they take to reply to your application, or if you send an application in and they said we want to interview you and you send in the interview, how long after that? So for the application, I remember it was like pretty quick they responded. It might depend, like if they're urgently hiring, like if they have a lot of open positions, they'll probably respond pretty fast because they want to get you in as soon as they can. For me, I think it was like 2 days after I sent in an application they responded. And then after I sent in like my interview videos, I don't think it was really that long. It might have been 2 days again after that. What questions did they ask in the interview? So this is gonna depend on like what position you apply for or what they put you in. So if you're up front, they might ask, how do you deal with a rude or bossy customer, like upset that a product was broke or something like that. For me, I'm trying to remember exactly what they asked me. I think they were like, how do you manage stocking and helping customers at the same time? But they're just going to be questions like that. Like I think they were mostly scenarios actually that they asked. There weren't that many, maybe like 3 or 4. But just kind of like common sense questions. Like I've never worked retail before, but I was still able to think of answers. So obviously you want to answer in the most like productive and polite way. You're not going to be like, I'm going to yell at a customer. Like obviously you want to say that you're going to be helpful to customers, help them, give them everything they want and need. Another common one was, do they give good hours to minors? And honestly, yes. I was 16 when I first started working there, and I was working like 25 hours a week, which is really good. I believe that was when I was in school too, so that is a lot. And then over the summer I was working like 30 or a little over 30 hours a week, which that was really good. And right now I'm working like 15 hours a week. Or like a little less because I'm a lot more busy right now. But they do have like surveys and like on the computers you can put the max amount of hours you want, or like a range of hours you want. They'll probably ask you that also during like orientation or like your interview. A question I saw, I don't know if multiple people asked this, but I think it was a good one to cover anyway. Do you stock as a cashier, or do you stock as like a person working up front, like guest services or something like that? You probably won't. The people that work up front, they stock like the check lanes, like, you know, where there's like candy and gum. They'll stock that, but that's like the most they do. So like on a regular daily basis, like at your normal shift, no, you probably won't be stocking if you work up front. But they might like need your help to cover someone or something, then you might. Another one was, do I need experience? Again, that's gonna depend like on the store, what they're looking for, like what qualities they're looking for, what position they put you in or you applied for. But I wouldn't say you necessarily need experience. It's not required, but they probably do look for a little bit. But I mean, you can always apply. If you rejected, it's fine. It's nothing personal. I also wanted to talk about, these aren't really questions that were in the comments, but stuff I wanted to bring up in this video. It's not a very complicated job. I always tell people, because I feel like I have one of the harder jobs there, which is I stock like grocery, and it's not that it's, nothing there is going to be mentally hard, like complicated to like figure out in your head. I mean, obviously your first like week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks might seem kind of complicated, but once you're there for a while, nothing's like mentally complicated. For me, my job's kind of physically complicated because I pick up and push a lot of really heavy stuff. Like I'm wiping off my sweat, like my back kind of hurts. But I mean, they're not like forcing you to like do like major physical activities or anything like that. But I also work in like the freezer, which is like below 0 degrees, and the coolers that are like 30 degrees, and I hate being cold. That's why it's kind of physically hard for me, but that's probably the worst thing about working there, is working in the cold. Also, I wanted to give a few more kind of explanations for like what I personally do like on a day-to-day basis, like for a normal shift. I kind of talked about this in my first Target video, but it's definitely probably changed since 6 months ago. So right now I'm actually working in P Fresh, which basically just stands for like produce and fresh food. So like produce stuff, dairy stuff, deli, stuff like that. So what my day looks like, I get there, I push 1-for-1s, which I talked about what those were in my first video, but basically taking stuff from the back and stocking it out on the floor. And then once I finish that, I normally just push truck for the rest of my shift, which means I'm pushing big carts full of boxes, take the boxes out onto the sales floor and open them and put them on the shelves. And then whatever doesn't fit, I put it in the back. And that's pretty much all I do. There'll be times they'll ask me to, like, hey, can you do this real quick? I'm like, yeah, of course. But yeah, that's honestly all I had written down. I don't mind making more and more and more Target videos. Someone did ask me, because I think I did mention that I wanted to like vlog while I was working, but that can be kind of hard. But I will try. If I have some free time to record and kind of show you what I'm doing, I would love to. I just also don't want to get in trouble. But I also wanted to say, if you subscribe mainly for my Target videos, I do want to make other videos than just talking about my job, just like vlogs or talking about controversial topics or something like that. But if you subscribe for my first video, or if you're subscribing from this video, you can always comment down below the type of videos you like. And again, comment any questions you have. I try to respond pretty fast when I see the notification on my phone for those. And yes, thank you so much for watching. And I also want to say thank you for everyone that commented and liked and even subscribed from my first video, my first Target video. I was not expecting that many views or comments or likes or anything, so I appreciate it. And comment any questions you have down below. Thank you for watching.